So please do keep your comments coming. And Doc, before we get going with the questions, I wonder if you would like to update us on the imminent release of AMP Volume 3. I get a lot of people messaging me asking for updates, and so straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, I'll tell you, seeing as you asked, I'm in a state of postpartum disorientation. You'll have to forgive me. Like, you know, when I don't know if you've been around a woman who's had a baby, and the process is usually is so mind-shattering and all of that. They're in a state of just blissful loving the baby and just spaced outness, and that's where I am, because I've just finished volume 3, The Miracle, the actual all the audio, which is the main bulk of the work. And it's along with the Miracle Primer, which is this 20-minute mix that you get as a bonus if you get the Miracle, or you can buy it at a special offer of $7.99 to lead people into the thing. It's 53, I think, tracks, right, which is, it's over 6 albums worth, which I did in 5 months. And it's like just over an album a month, which is doable, as I've just proven, but insane. I mean, I'm completely insane. When it comes to finalizing it, you've got 53 tracks you've got to keep going through one after the other. You miss things, you miss mistakes, and then you lose your perspective. I did it in 6 days, but my hard drive collapsed on me at the beginning of that week, last weekend. I couldn't believe it. It was like, come on, my main hard drive. I backed everything up, but it was disorientation. Cost me another 4 days. But it was like a warrior. I couldn't talk to anyone on the phone. I didn't talk to anyone in real life. I was just totally focused. 6 days, hardly any sleep, and just did it. Because it had to be done. It had to be done on time. It's done. And it's like, I can't say, other than the fact, you got to understand, my experience of doing it is very much like a conduit. There's a sense of a presence, a huge presence somewhere behind me that isn't actually me. It feels like it's a power of its own. We'll call it the spirit of AMP. And it's like somehow or other, it's chosen me as the conduit for this thing. I have the skills, and I must say, I feel has been bumping my skills up exponentially, because, I can do stuff faster and better than I've ever been able to before, by a quantum jump. I don't know how it happened even. And so I'm an onlooker in a way. So when I'm finished it, I sit back and I listen. I don't even recognize the tracks. I was like, oh, wow, that's a nice one. Oh, wow, that's a nice one. I sit and listen to it, and I can have some sense kind of objectivity, and I have to say, it's amazing. It's pretty amazing. I'm very proud. I shouldn't go on. I'm humble, but I'm really proud of it, actually. The narrative in it is pretty deep. I mean, it doesn't get any deeper. It was like it dictated that, even very much so, in fact. And it is called The Miracle. I did a course in miracles 4 years running back in the early 80s. And it really had a powerful impact on me. It was part of all the different things I've studied. I always sat them into the Taoist bowl. See, I do comparative studies, Kabbalah, Catholicism. I could give you the whole thing, Native America. I could go so many Buddhism disciplines, but A Course in Miracles really struck me, because I'm a real cynic. I don't usually buy it when people start talking about channeling, especially when they start using silly voices and all that. It's like, come on, leave it out. But the Course in Miracles immediately struck me. That is the Christ consciousness talking. No question of it. I never even doubted it. And I am, as I tell you, I'm a proper cynic and skeptical, really. And I've never, ever doubted it. It's so powerful and pure and amazing. And I did it 4 years running, and it really had a powerful impact on me, which then sat in with the whole Taoist thing. Because all it really is about is non-dualism. It's just a unity of presence. That's what it's all about. And because the AMP thing has a natural leaning towards manifesting the things you want in your life, doing magic, the M in AMP, basically. The Miracle is the kind of the resolution of all of that, if you like. And it really is, you could say that the first 2 are a training towards the third one, but you can start with the third straight away. It doesn't really matter. This takes it into such a deep level of that we are manifesting things, but really it's so not about the things we're manifesting. It is about the process of manifesting, which is being in the miracle, knowing that you're in a miracle, knowing that you are a miracle. This is a miracle. As soon as you're awake to the fact, wow, this is a miracle that I'm here, you stop being numb to it all. The magic starts waking up, and then you've somehow got the miracle power in you. And you realize that it's not that you're learning to perform miracles. You've always been performing miracles. I mean, you are a miracle that you're performing. I mean, it's not easy to be a human being. It's a miracle to be able to perform as well as we do. And once you start getting that, things start manifesting instantaneously without any effort. I've never known it so clear with myself even. And the noisy mind doesn't even want to get in the way. It's so amazing, the process, which is pretty remarkable. So it is actually a very deep spiritual training. I mean, my brief when I was in New Mexico in 1983, I've been there 4 years living with the Native Americans, and I've been told, because I do follow guidance, you know, maybe I'm schizophrenic, I don't really know, but it seems to me that I'm not, and I am following guidance. It tends to work out. And it really felt like I was, and I know I was, and I was looking at the sky from the mountainside, very moved by the fact that I was going to be leaving this sort of mountainside heaven and going back down into the world, as it felt, because it was very high altitude there, into the madness again. And it gave me a vision. It gave me a vision across the sky of a colors and sound like I'd never heard before. And this is the sound that I heard. What I've created with AMP is the sound. And I just want to say one more thing, because I probably lost the thread there, because as I said, I got postpartum dishevelment. But this all started, AMP, about a year and 4 months ago. It was October the 11th. I was an hour away from dying from this sudden extreme attack of inflammatory bowel. I got to Switzerland, got to the doctors. I know it sounds very romantic and all. It was actually. But they said, "You've got an hour, buddy. We've got to get you in. Like 1 more hour, you're going to be dead because your whole body's going to go septic." So they got 6 hours. I was in surgery with 3 surgeons working on me. And they were brilliant. They were amazing guys. I woke up in intensive care, feeling fine. And about a few hours after waking up, I had my computer, my headphones, and I just started making music. And I've never done anything quite like it. Obviously, I know where it came from, the style and everything, but there was a vibe to it, the frequencies, everything I was using I'd never done them before. And it sort of said to me, amped. I don't know why amped, but it's just amped. You'll find out why after, just go with it. And it's a book and it's music and it's this and it's that and visuals and everything. Go do it. And I just kept doing it. And then, a year and a few months later, there's 3 volumes, 18 albums worth. I mean, that's remarkable. It's insane. I mean, nobody I've ever heard of could even think of doing that. I never would. If you'd have told me before I did this, that you're going to make 18 albums in a year, basically, I said, oh, come on, that is absurd. It took me 18 months to make 1 album just now. No way I'm going to make 18 in a year. But it happened. And it's been beautiful. It's not been hard. It's been like a military operation, I have to say. Many, many notes and lists and agendas and schedules that you've got to keep ticking through. You've got to remember so much stuff, is it? But it's good because it stopped me going senile. So that's why I do it. For me, I do it to keep my mind active. And then I like watching telly.